Good morning, everyone. It's Thursday, August 12th from the San Antonio Express News. My name is Luis Vasquez, and this is your Express Briefing. All of the stories you need to know to start your day. You can expect sunny skies and a high of 103 in San Antonio today, so remember to stay hydrated. Culinaria expanded its popular Restaurant Week to the entire month of August to help businesses hurt by the pandemic. 3 of our top 10 restaurants from the 2019 Top 100 Dining and Drinks Guide are among the more than 50 participating restaurants. So what does fine dining look like in the middle of a crisis? We'll have the report over at expressnews.com. The Spurs could be playing their final game of the 2019-2020 season if they lose to the Utah Jazz tonight or a few other things don't go right. For the latest Spurs notes, check out Tom Orsborn's latest column at the link in the episode description. And of course, we'll have the latest on the spread of coronavirus and its effects on San Antonio and South Texas. Our interactive maps and charts are regularly updated with the latest data from Texas and around the country. We're also keeping a timeline of the virus in San Antonio. But now let's move on to the top stories for the day. A former student of St. Mary's Hall, a well-regarded private school in Northeast San Antonio, has sued the nonprofit corporation that operates the co-ed institution, claiming numerous other pupils bullied and sexually harassed her there. The lawsuit, which also names former head of school Jonathan Eads as a defendant, accuses St. Mary's Hall of not investigating her complaints. It also accuses the college prep school and Eads of failing to properly protect and supervise her. The former student attended during her middle and high school years, said her attorney, Jason Itkin. She is seeking more than $1 million in damages and asking for a jury trial. Peggy O'Hare has more details on the lawsuit in her latest column, which you can find at the link in the episode's description. If not for the coronavirus pandemic, a few San Antonio school districts would have opened their doors to students by Wednesday. Their campuses are still quiet, but the scene was different in Boerne, where children slipped on masks as they entered school for the first time in 5 months. Of the 9,800 students in Boerne Independent School District, 77% are attending in person, said district spokesman Brian Benway. That number includes the 5 Thompson siblings who woke up much earlier than they had for virtual learning in the spring, ate a breakfast of kolaches, muffins, and orange juice, and posed outside for a masked photo. Alia Malik followed them and talked to a few other families about a first day of school unlike any in recent memory. District 4 Councilwoman Adriana Rocha Garcia has experienced firsthand the disproportionate and deadly impact the virus has inflicted on the city's poorest neighborhoods. Nearly half of those who have died of COVID-19 lived on the city's west and south sides, parts of town that are overwhelmingly Hispanic, according to figures shared with the Express News. Though the numbers are horrific, they came as no shock to Southside politicians and health experts. Joshua Fechter explores those numbers in his latest column. Robert Ramsay, the chancellor of Alamo College districts from 1993 to 2003, may rightfully be remembered for achievements such as the building of regional training academies, increasing enrollment, and helping change state law to allow for popular dual credit courses. But he'll be remembered by many simply as the college district leader who survived 2 corruption scandals involving board members and one of his executives, his wife Terry Ramsay, noted on Wednesday. Bruce Selcraig looks closer at the life and legacy of Dr. Robert Ramsay in his latest column. To keep our readers up to date on the path of COVID-19, the Express News has built a dashboard of interactive graphics showing the spread of the virus in the San Antonio area, in Texas as a whole, and across the United States. We've also created an interactive map of San Antonio for COVID-19 testing sites that don't require a doctor's referral. You can find a link to the dashboard and the interactive map in this episode's description. Next up are your need-to-know headlines. You can find all of these headlines and more inside your Express News subscription. The coronavirus pandemic has taken another 26 lives in Bexar County, a tally that includes confirmed deaths from early June, bringing the overall death toll in the epidemic to 545, the Metropolitan Health District reported on Wednesday. San Antonio City Council could have weighed in on the city's budget proposal to increase police spending by $8 million, but instead, it focused on larger issues of police reform on Wednesday. Reports of a pile of undelivered UPS packages at one of the company's California processing centers is drawing backlash online. UPS says it's facing unprecedented demand during the pandemic. Encountering a 5-foot-long western diamondback rattlesnake was just another day on the job for a hill country removal expert. Video of one of Brett Barker's jobs is going viral. Forget Beto O'Rourke and Julian Castro. Texas Democrats say Kamala Harris was the best possible vice presidential pick for Joe Biden's chances in Texas. 3 Texas soldiers, 2 stationed at Fort Hood and another at Fort Sam Houston, were among 9 men arrested in a child prostitution sting, the Killeen Police Department said. Before the coronavirus pandemic, hotels touted their comfortable beds, champagne buffet brunches, and fully equipped gyms. Now, the theme is disease prevention and which properties use the best cleaning products. Read more in the latest Wary Traveler column. UT Health San Antonio and its clinical partner, University Hospital, are among the first sites in the nation to begin the 3rd phase of clinical trials for remdesivir, an experimental COVID-19 treatment. San Antonio could run out of money to help residents struggling to stay in their homes during the COVID-19 pandemic by November if federal lawmakers don't extend unemployment benefits or come up with a second round of economic stimulus funding. San Antonio Police Chief William McManus has fired 2 police officers for excessive use of force during an incident that started with a traffic stop and ended with the officers punching the driver in the face, according to city suspension records released Wednesday. Home sales and prices in the region surged in July amid pent-up demand, low mortgage rates, and tight inventory of available properties. The Grand Hyatt, one of San Antonio's marquee convention hotels, is reopening September 1st after a shutdown of more than 5 months. College football bowl games appear to be in a better position than conferences and individual programs right now based on the calendar. However, some bowls like the San Antonio Alamo Bowl are in more of a pickle than others. The Big 12's second schedule release Wednesday morning showed the conference is still convinced football can be played this fall. When Tesla Inc. made its splashy announcement last month that it will build a $1.1 billion Cybertruck factory in Austin, the electric vehicle maker's decision was celebrated as a once-in-a-generation opportunity for the region. Tesla is expected to create 5,000 jobs in Central Texas and strengthen the state's position in the automotive industry. But Texans will pay a hefty price for the gains. Diego Mendoza Moyer explains why Chapter 313, a little-known provision of the Texas tax code, is such a criticized system. And now let's move on to the fun stuff. Try empanadas, waffles, popovers, crepes, and crackers because man cannot live on bread alone. Paul Stevens has the recipes you need to know in his latest article. Paciugo San Antonio is offering 3-cup affogato flights with gelato and pour-over pairings topped with all the options a sweet tooth could dream of. Madeline Mendoza has more on these delicious treats at the link in the episode's description. For Gregg Popovich, the fact that the Spurs are still in the postseason hunt is icing on the cake. Texas is now planning to open its 2020 season September 12th at Royal Memorial Stadium against UTEP. UT Athletics Director Chris Del Conte confirmed Wednesday afternoon. San Antonio teen Ben Feinstein is featured in the Apple TV Plus documentary Boy State, which spotlights the annual program in Austin where 1,000 high school students form their own government. And that's all for today. This was your Express Briefing. My name is Luis Vasquez. Please consider becoming an Express News subscriber to get in-depth coverage on all the stories you heard today. Also, be sure to rate and review this podcast inside your Apple Podcast app, as it really helps the show. Have a wonderful day, everyone.